Hola amigos, good evening. You are watching From the Field, a half an hour show about the World Cup Qatar 2022. Today is a beautiful evening. We have a lot of things to talk about. Today was no matches. Tomorrow the quarterfinal are going to start. Let's go first, like we always do, with the headlines.
Latin America relies on Argentina and Brazil to halt European dominance. FIFA announces a television audience of more than 2 billion and counting. FIFA President Gianni Infantino praises the group stages of Qatar 2022 following record-breaking match attendance and global television audiences. The safest FIFA World Cup so far. The football organization assured that the work of the security of the tournament and the Ministry of the Interior have made this FIFA World Cup the safest in history.
Argentina is going to face the Netherlands tomorrow. It's going to be one of the two matches. And today, Scaloni offered a press conference about what's going on with the team, the poll. He said he's going to be ready to play. That was one of the concerns. But let's see what else happened today here in Doha, Qatar.
The last day off before the return to the world's most popular sport. Families are taking a break from football and are spending time with one another, getting to know Qatar. Since November 20th, there has been no major crimes that disturb security. The reports received by the National Command Center were few and far between compared to the number of fans participating in the World Cup. While Messi is having a great time with his teammates and doing live streams, Ronaldo refused to train with the substitutes, to train with the starting 11, before Portugal's quarterfinal match against Morocco.
When we started from the field, behind me, there were 32 flags. Right now, there are only 8. Next Sunday, there are going to be only 4. Really critical moment we are living here in the World Cup. But now let's go with Charlie Montero and the 5 stories you have to know about today's in Qatar 2022.
Mbappé faces the final stretch of the World Cup, aiming for the Golden Boot, thanks to his 5 goals in 4 games. The French forward will also look to break the record of most goals scored in a single World Cup of the last 20 years, which is currently held by Brazilian Ronaldo, who scored 6 goals in the 2002 World Cup. The 538 prediction website updated the odds of who will win the World Cup. The odds are now at 33% for Brazil, 14% for England and Portugal, and 13% for Argentina. The FIFA president announced that before the quarterfinals began, the event registered an average of 51,000 viewers in each game. It also set the record figure of more than 2 billion television views. The Croatian and Serbian football federations each received fines for 50,000 and 20,000 Swiss francs. The first due to the insults uttered by various fans against Milan Borjan, the Canadian goalkeeper of Serbian origin, and the second for displaying a flag in the locker room that showed Kosovo as part of Serbia before the group stage match against Brazil. The Education Above All Foundation launched the Youth Empowerment Conference on Wednesday at the heart of the World Cup celebrations at the FIFA Fan Festival, with inspiring stories about the role of football off the pitch from top athletes. The ceremony featured former Afghan refugee turned professional soccer player Nadia Nadim and Hani Talih, first captain of the Palestinian women's national football team.
The first match of tomorrow is going to be Brazil versus Croatia. The South American team is having fun. They are playing fantastic. They seem to get along, all of them. The coach, they put the whole team to have a chance to play at least a few minutes. Croatia, they were the finishing second place in the last World Cup in Russia. They have Luka Modric, a legend of the sport, who wants to finish with another chance to the final. Let's put a contest. How's going to be the match tomorrow between Brazil and Croatia?
At this crucial moment of the World Cup, the odds are in favor of the Brazilians after the excellent performance they have had in Qatar 2022 from the group stage to the round of 16, where they came out undefeated against South Korea, whom they beat 4-1 in a match that demonstrated the great attacking capabilities of this team. The Croatians, on the other hand, did not have an easy time against Japan, whom they defeated on penalties, which determines in principle that they may not be able to beat the Canarinha, although they suffered more than one headache to end a second-tier team like the Asian one. In this way, it should be noted that throughout history, both teams have faced each other on a total of 4 opportunities, 2 in World Cups and 2 in international friendly matches, being superior the Brazilians, who boast a balance of 3 wins and 1 draw, having scored to the Gasti team an amount of 7 goals with only 2 goals conceded. Plus, they have qualified to all World Cups with a total of 5 victories in this event, while the Europeans have only been present on 7 occasions, with their best performance in 2018, falling to France in the final. Undoubtedly, they are 2 teams with great strengths, very capable of reaching the final, taking into account the excellent players they have and the results they have achieved, so this could be a match full of surprises.
It's amazing, but Brazil, they always have strong football players. Which one is the best for you? For me personally, Ronaldinho. But you know which one was the favorite one of Diego Armando Maradona? Rivellino. He said he was the best player Brazil ever has. Let's see why.
Diego always openly declared that his great idol in football was the Brazilian player Rivellino.
Everyone talks to me about Pelé. I take my hat off to Pelé. He's a phenomenal player. Now for me, I used to go out to the field and Pelé will go there and I will go with Rivellino.
Maradona always feels identified with Rivellino, even he imitated some plays of the Brazilian player.
A change of direction in front of Rivellino was a poem.
Diego acknowledged that he had many jerseys, but that the most precious one was the Rivellino's one.
Today I was watching YouTube. There I looked for Maradona and I was watching you making move. How interesting. It is difficult to see players that look like you, but there were moves that Maradona made in which I could see myself. Because of the ability of the left foot, the blow to the ball moving, I saw Maradona and I say I already did that. I already did what Maradona is doing.
If I ask you who was the last World Cup champion, the one in Russia, I'm 100% sure you could say it was France. But if I ask you who was in the quarterfinal, I don't know if you would know the answer. That's the trivia of today. The trivia of today in our social media is who reached the semifinals at Russia 2018. The answer, we are going to give you that later in the program. And remember, let's keep making this community of Twitter from the field getting stronger and stronger. We try to tweet you as much as we can. Please follow us. Let's do a short break. Now you can hear the Brazilian music. Okay, with the Brazilian music, we go to the break. We'll be right back. Thank you for being with us. This is Carlos Montero from the field. Today there were no matches, but there are a couple of news related to the World Cup. Luis Enriquez, the Spanish coach, was fired. He's not going to be in the team anymore. And that's happened. It happened also with the coach from Japan and the coach from Mexico, who the team didn't do as well as they wanted, and they are out. But Charlie have a chance today to go out, to talk to the fans and get some of the information about how great time or not so good time they are spending here in Qatar. Let's go to see what Charlie find out.
Thank you, Carlos. After 17 straight days of football, we finally have a 2-day rest. So we came to here, Souk Waqif, to find out what people are doing on their day off. Come with me, we'll find out. What are you going to do on your day off from football? This 2 days rest, no soccer?
Today, yes, so 2 days off from the World Cup. So just to take an round in the Qatar to see the festival for the celebration of the World Cup.
Okay, and what's your favorite place here in Qatar?
Place, I think this place is very good. And also yesterday we visit another place. It's in Qataria or Lu'lu'a, something like this.
We have the first 2 days off from soccer after 17 straight days of football. What are you going to do today?
Today I put my football jerseys in the washing machine, which is why I'm not wearing it today, because I had my Argentina shirt on. And I'm actually now a little anxious about the quarterfinal. And I've been sitting on the resale platform trying to score a ticket because I'm so scared this might be Messi's last match. But yeah, I'm excited. So we're taking a girls' time out, enjoying the souk. We do live here, but the vibe is just incredible right now. So we're enjoying this.
And you said you live here. What's your favorite place in Qatar to visit?
This is it. It is because it's just very immersive in how it represents the culture here. And the heritage, the food, just it stays active. You can walk, the karak tea, it's all there. So it's a great hangout.
Can I ask you one last question? What food do you recommend to people to try out here?
Oh, definitely. I think the Turkish food and the Lebanese food is really popular. Qatari food as well, the makbous, the meat and lamb, that is a classic. And of course, the hummus and shawarma you have to have. You have to go to a shawarma vendor and just do that for sure. Yeah.
Okay, can I get it? I love Messi to the camera.
I love Messi!
Well, there you have it, Carlos. Now we know what people do on their day off from soccer. Back to you.
Charlie's having a great time. You are going to see him tomorrow riding a camel. Let me ask you a question. What was the most disappointing thing about this World Cup 2022? For me, when South Arabia beat Argentina, it was a big upset. I didn't expect it. But now we have a story about the 5 most disappointing things about this World Cup so far.
We will start with Denmark, the Northern European team that arrived with high expectation after being semi-finalists in the European Championship. But they couldn't beat Tunisia, lost to France and Australia, and came last in the group. A very poor, unexpected and sad performance. In the same step, we put 2 Latin teams. Uruguay was eliminated in the first round by South Korea. Mexico, on the other hand, failed to advance to the round of 16, as it had always done since 1994. More was expected from both teams. Belgium. According to the FIFA ranking, they are the second best team on the planet, but they were shamed in the World Cup. Not only because of the poor level of play, but also because of the internal fights that damaged the team. Out in the first round with Morocco and Croatia, so it was the end of a golden era for the Belgians. Spain beat Costa Rica 7-0 in the first match, and everybody thought, here's the champion, but then they deflated. Draw with Germany, defeat with Japan, and were eliminated by penalties against Morocco. Disappointing. But, without a doubt, the great disappointment of the World Cup was Germany. For the second time in a row, the 4-time world champions were eliminated in the first round. They lost to Japan, drew with Spain, and defeat Costa Rica with suffering, but it was not enough. This is an absolute disaster, said Thomas Müller, who also announced his retirement from the German national team. The next Euro Cup in 2024, which they will host, has to be the next tournament where the Germans shows their talent to the world again.
This afternoon, Luis Scaloni, Argentine coach, offered a press conference, and he said his team is in a good shape. Rodrigo de Paul, Di Maria, they are ready to play, even though certain media, they were saying they were not ready to play. He got upset with the media for saying those things that they are not real. And Holland, they're playing tomorrow again, Netherlands. Di Maria knows Netherlands. He played for the coach, and he said he was the worst coach in his football career. Let's put in context the game of tomorrow, Argentina versus Netherlands.
One of the World Classic games will have another chapter. Argentina will face Netherlands in the quarterfinal stage of the FIFA World Cup. The balance between them in World Cups is in favor of the European team with 2 victories, 2 draws and 1 loss. However, that loss was in the finals of 1978 when Argentina lifted the cup for the first time. They arrive at this stage after having different paths. Argentina began the tournament with a suppressive loss against Arabia Saudi, but later they won against Mexico and Poland to qualify for the round of 16 as first of their group. In the face of direct elimination, they beat Australia 2-1 with goal of Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez. The best player of the Albiceleste in this World Cup has been Messi. Every ball has to be in his feet to make danger, but he is still being the lethal weapon of the 2-time world champions. On the other hand, we can say that Netherlands has shown a solid group and has been lethal in the offensive. They began winning against Senegal 2-0, drawing to Ecuador 1-1 and beating 3-1 to Qatar. This way, they also qualify as the first of their group and face United States in the round of 16. With a tactical masterclass, the team led by Luis Van Gaal liquidated 3-1 to the team led by Greg Berhalter. Now, they will face Argentina in another chapter of this classic match, and the winner will be in the semi-finals where they play against Croatia or Brazil.
Let's do now a short break, and I remind you, please follow us on social media. Our account on Twitter is From the Field. You can follow also TeleSUR English or C. Montero Oficial. That's my personal account. We'll be right back with much more information from here, Doha, Qatar. This is Carlos Montero from the field. Thank you for being with us. In this quarterfinal, there is an African team that's represented by Morocco, who did a fantastic World Cup so far. When they defeat Spain and they make it to that important round, the whole team show a Palestine flag. Palestine is present here. We see a lot of people from Palestine, a lot of people explaining the situation that Palestine is living. And to give you an idea of what's going on, to put a context in the story, we want to show you this story.
The melodies and dances in the streets of Qatar these days frequently refer to the territories like East Jerusalem, West Bank, and the Gaza Strip. Fans post on their social networks this traditional dance of Palestine, a country that is not actually participating in the World Cup, but nonetheless gives the impression of being the 33rd team in the biggest sporting event in the world. Many Palestinians had wished of seeing their favorite team play in the tournament, and many messages went viral on social media saying that this was not a possibility for them.
Desgraciadamente no voy a poder viajar. Se me prohibió realizar el sueño de asistir.
Some 8,000 Palestinians applied for the Haya card to enter Qatar. FIFA negotiated direct charters between Israel and Qatar, 2 countries without diplomatic relations. But no Palestinians reached Qatar this way because of Israeli hostility against residents of the occupied Palestinian territories. But others, like these young people here, proudly wear symbols of their homeland.
Yeah. Yes, and this is the flag.
This is our flag.
We are representing, we are defending our rights. Israeli, they killing our people in Palestine. We are here to say to them, stop, go out our land. This is our land, not your land.
Just like this engineering couple, Ram is also part of nearly 250,000 Palestinian residents here in Qatar. She has been living in Doha for 12 years, and she grew up and studied here to become an architect.
You know, it's for the first time this World Cup or this tournament is taking place in an Arab country in the Middle East, where a lot of barriers and filters are put in front of us to try to hide and disturb the facts, or actually distort the facts. So this is the first time we Palestinians are all pro-Palestinians as well, have the opportunity to show our flags and to show the world that have never seen our flags ever, that we exist. We're still fighting for our cause. We still fight and cheer for a free Palestine.
Israeli channel.
Israeli channel, no, thank you.
Why?
One of the main media channels in Israel called this event the Cup of Hate, after being shocked to see how fans refused to be interviewed by the journalist.
Why? Arabic.
Israel channel. You don't like us?
While Palestinian flags waved proudly at Qatar 2022, Qatari diplomats reiterated at the UN its solidarity with the Palestinian people and their struggle to reclaim their land and inalienable rights.
It's a perfect time since the spotlight is in Qatar right now and everyone's looking at Qatar. And there's a misconception, especially in the West, about what's going on in the Palestinian territories, and we're trying to make sure everyone knows exactly what's happening.
Palestinian flags and symbols are dominant here in Qatar and are even found in traditional Qatari attire. This is in contrast to previous World Cups that were mostly attended by European fans. Now, the majority of fans come from Arab countries and South America.
We love people from South America. They are very, very supportive, especially Venezuela. Supportive for Palestine. We know them, we like them. We say hi for all of Venezuela people.
We know Cuba support Palestine and we love Cuba for sure this as well.
The Palestinian flag even crossed over to the pitch, where Moroccan players celebrated their historic victory over Spain.
Some people were upset that Qatar was the host of the World Cup. Shakira, for example, didn't want to be in the open ceremony. But so far, this World Cup is going great. We are going to have wonderful games tomorrow in quarterfinals, and we are going to show you the highlights of this beautiful event.
According to FIFA, more than 2,450,000 spectators experienced the excitement of the group stage in Qatar 2022 stadiums, which represents 96% of the total capacity. In addition, it was also reported that the tramway network between Doha and Lusail has averaged around 9 million trips since the start of the World Cup, with a daily passenger count of 707,032. It is also known that the international airports of the Arabian country have experienced a growth in the volume of operations during the event in terms of traffic of both press and accredited personnel as well as fans and teams. The public does not want to miss a single moment of what is happening with the teams and players, and that is a fact that has been verified by the massive presence of followers not only at matches but also at festivals and related events. Accordingly, the largest attendance has been from Saudi Arabia, the United States, the United Kingdom, and Mexico. The 2022 World Cup has proven to be one of the most profitable international events of the year and is set to continue to surprise until the final match for the trophy on December 18. The Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy has successfully materialized its handbook and has signaled that its strategy should be considered as intangible heritage of humanity when organizing high-profile events.
In 4 years, in the next World Cup, instead of 36 teams, 48 teams are going to be able to play in a World Cup. Why FIFA is doing that? To open the door to some nations that they never play a World Cup. For instance, Cuba. Cuba, they love baseball, but football is getting more and more important, and maybe they have a chance to play in the next World Cup that's going to be in the USA, Canada, and Mexico. Let's go to see how Cubans are thinking about if they can make it to the next World Cup.
An initial group of 16 Cuban coaches have recently been trained by international FIFA officials with the aim of developing Cuba's next generation of football players on an island long known for its baseball and boxing superstars. Cuban coaches are training hundreds of players as part of a new program to raise the profile and status of the sport in a country that last qualified for the World Cup was in 1938. Héctor Noa Cuadro is one of the coaches being trained by FIFA. He stood on the sidelines at the Pedro Marrero National Stadium in Havana and scrutinized the moves of more than a dozen young players, nearly all boys except for 14-year-old Gabriela Alonso and her twin sister.
The vision is football for everyone. Here is the same for the girls, the boys, the chubby, the skinny, the short, and the tall. Football is a means to educate, teach, and create values.
I am happy because before, they didn't want to let me play football because I was a girl. Now I have opportunities. Thanks to my teachers, I'm able to play here.
Cuban football players have good physical strength, but they need to improve their technical skills, including how to dribble the ball, using passing combination between two or more players, and perfect their shooting techniques. Cubans deserve a better future in this sport that has become the most played sport on the island among children and teenagers. The next World Cup qualifications will feature a Cuba team that has been oxygenated with new policies of the Cuban government, such as the insertion of players and foreign leagues and the promotion of grassroots developments.
I would like to win everything in the national team, and maybe someday I could play in a team from another country.
You know, we are testing every day your knowledge about football. Let's see how you did today. The trivia of the day was, who reached the semifinals at Russia 2018? The answer is France, Belgium, England, and Croatia.
In 2018, during the FIFA World Cup celebrated in Russia, 4 European teams reached the semifinals. In the Krestovsky Stadium, on the 10th of July, France defeated 1-0 to Belgium, thanks to a header from Samuel Umtiti in the 51st minute of the match. On the next day, in the Luzhniki Stadium, Croatia beat England 2-1 in 120 minutes. The English scored first thanks to a free kick converted in goal by Kieran Trippier in the 5th minute of the game. Ivan Perisic tied the match in the 68th minute, and Mario Mandzukic became a hero in the 109th minute after scoring the goal that let Croatia participate in their first World Cup final.
And now let's see how you complete the sentence, that segment we have in Twitter from the field. The question was, the best goalkeeper I ever seen was for David Stirlitz, Iker Casillas, Yolanda Lao, Gianluigi Buffon, Del Collado Buffon also, Amélie Courtois. Thank you very much for participating with us in social media. Okay, that's all for today. Be ready for tomorrow. Football is coming back to Doha, Qatar. We are going to have 2 wonderful matches, Argentina against Netherlands, and then we are going to have Croatia playing Brazil. Thank you for being with us tonight. Muy buenas noches, amigos. See you all tomorrow.